When you're riding, have you ever felt really uncoordinated? Like you just can't get the right movement with the horse, and maybe your riding instructor tells you certain things like straighten your back or move differently with your hips, but you're just not able to get the feeling right. Or maybe they show you the feeling and you understand it one time, but then you're not able to repeat it. In today's video, I'm going to give you a reason why this might be happening, and I'm also going to give you some suggestions for how you can improve this even outside of your riding lessons. So I'm Callie, and this is the weekly video show from CRK Training. And today's topic is body awareness, also called body control, or the idea of proprioception. What body awareness really is basically the ability to move with precision, accuracy, and ease. It's having that right combination of strength and mobility and of coordination. So body awareness is basically just being aware of different parts of your body and being able to move well. It's pretty essential for riding because riding takes so much movement. One of the interesting things about body awareness is that we're going to be more aware of the parts of our body that we use most often and that we give the most attention to. So for example, for most people, this is our feet and our hands. A lot of times, unless we do an active sport or some kind of aware movement, we don't really use our midsection that much. So when we go to start riding, that's why it's so difficult to get a lot of the movements, because being in the saddle takes so much awareness of our seat, of our hips, our core, and our rib cage, basically our whole core section. One of the interesting things, though, about body awareness is that we can change that. So we're going to become more aware of the parts of our body that we start to use more often. And there's actually physical, observable changes in the brain that happen when we start to use a new body part. An example of this is that a musician will have a larger part of their brain that is dedicated to control of the hands than the average person. So how can we use this for our riding? Well, one of the things that I noticed is that as a riding instructor, when students would come in, if they had a background in some kind of aware movement, so maybe they had a regular yoga practice or they were involved in some kind of a dance practice, they were actually much better. So I would be able to tell them certain things or show them certain things, and they would be able to just understand it and do it and get the feeling and remember that feeling. And then they were able to progress in their riding much more quickly. So in order for us to develop this same body awareness, we want to look for any kind of activity that involves a slow, deliberate, and mindful movement. Some examples of this that I've used myself that have all had a positive impact on my riding and that I think there's a lot of parallels with riding are yoga, which I mentioned earlier, many different types of dance, also many different types of martial arts, and some forms of body work such as Feldenkrais or other methods that involve exploring different and new ways of movement. So besides doing these different types of movement that just give you more awareness and kind of get you moving in different ways and using different parts of your body that maybe you don't really use in your daily life and your daily activities, when we start learning a new skill, there's also the concept of learning to learn. So as we learn a new skill and we start getting better at learning and getting better at acquiring new movements, new motor skills, we're able to kind of transfer that learning to other areas. So for example, when you go and you start doing yoga and you're kind of struggling through it and you're learning, that learning in that activity is going to help transfer to your riding, and it's going to actually start to make you a better rider as well. So now it's time for you to leave a comment. If you have any other activities that you do or that you've done in the past that have increased your body awareness and have helped your riding, I'd love to hear about them in the comments. As always, the best comments and the best conversations happens at crktrainingblog.com. So go there now, leave a comment, and I'll see you there.